Greetings, friends. Reverend Sage Cole here, back in my little corner in my home where I first announced our new Church Jubilee just 6 months ago. And I thought as we head into the fall season and as we start this second half of our new Church Jubilee year, it was important for me to offer an update and a frame for what has unfolded and what is to come. I announced this Jubilee back in March, and I don't know as I could ever have anticipated what would unfold afterwards, which is kind of how things work. You know, we birth a child, we really have no idea what it's going to entail to raise them. I birthed this idea, and I didn't know exactly what would come to be. It's been challenging. It's been challenging to be in uncertainty, to be asking hard questions about who we are and how we might change and grow. I realize in life, we never really seek chaos, do we? We never really seek to face and name confusion. Often that's thrust upon us by external events. And instead, we are often seeking comfort and stability. And yet, I felt the call to name this Jubilee because we recently were thrust into a whole lot of uncertainty through the time of the pandemic, and we learned a lot from that time. And as we make choices about coming back to church life, it's an opportunity. We have a really important opportunity that I don't want to miss to consider what truly are the essential dimensions of church and what aspects of church it might be time to relinquish or to lay down that don't have a sense of life in them, and how might we be able to have a wider perspective on what is possible. Personally, I have been feeling really grounded in the fact that everything really is okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. The fact that that our church has been dwindling, that as a whole, the church life is no longer resonant with people in the way that it once was, none of that is a problem. It's actually, as Swedenborgians, the way it is meant to be. Everything comes to an end. And when those things come to an end, new things are born. Death and resurrection are two sides of the same coin. And in Cambridge, there are so many signs of approaching resurrection. Our vision of the Helen Keller Center is lighting up people's imaginations, and many people outside of our community are getting excited about what that could be and the work that it could do in the world. And in general, I'm meeting with and serving people all around the Cambridge community. I just did a wedding yesterday. I just was approached by another person to offer spiritual direction. Our chapel is a place that is serving the larger world and serving people who are on that periphery of church, who aren't ready to join up and become members, but are still seeking, are still really actively on the spiritual path and looking for resources. And I have a lot of ideas and excitement about how we may be able to offer even more resources. So this grand network of people who care about the chapel, who are on the journey, but are making that journey in ways that are not always resonant with traditional church life, may be able to be the community, to be actually the church in a larger sense that can help our chapel have new life and an abundant future. It's an interesting time right now, especially as some of our members have been involved with helping with the Newtonville Church, the Church of the Open Word that is in preparations to be sold to an arts organization in Newton. I know for some of our members who've been helping there, it's been difficult to see what is happening in Newtonville and what is unfolding and see how close that future reality could be for our chapel as well. We've closed many churches over the years in the Swedenborgian Church, and there probably will be more to come. It is the course of things. It is the direction that is occurring within all denominations and all churches around the globe. And yet, I I don't know that it has to be our future. And that's one of the reasons that I announced this Jubilee, that I'm inviting us to consider what it would mean to die before we die, to not take the typical course, but to allow certain aspects of who we are to be relinquished so that a new identity, a new sense of community that has wider parameters of belonging might rise up. I feel really excited for what is to come. And I'm grateful because now as the fall begins, it won't just be me doing this work. Eleanor Schnarr, some of you have already heard this information, has been called to come join us in Cambridge. She has felt very moved by our Jubilee message. And in her own journey towards ordination in the Swedenborgian Church, she'll be beginning a 9-month field education experience with us this fall. So Eleanor will be sharing some of the duties of caring for the church and helping to sit with me in these questions and in this mystery of what is the new church, the truly new church that Swedenborg proclaimed that really feels just pressing and needed at this pivotal time in our history as human beings, when we're asking such big questions about will we be able to get along with one another, respect the diversity of persons, respect the diversity of life on this planet, and find ways to care for it and nurture it into the future? Or will we stay stuck in our selfishness and our materialism until there's nothing left? It really feels like the questions are that stark at times. And I feel like Swedenborg's vision is part of what will help bring healing and help bring us into the transformation that will be necessary if we are to heal our world and our relationships, if we are to enter into a new phase of life where we really do work together and we don't just spend all of our time at odds and destroying each other. So it's an exciting time. We've got Eleanor with us. We'll also be returning to our traditional Sunday worship. Our congregation voted at our annual meeting to return to our traditional worship at 11 a.m. on Sundays. And that feels right and good to do. It feels right and good to return to our traditional rhythms as we sit with these questions and as we consider them together. So I invite you to join us next Sunday, September 11th at 11 a.m., when we'll be gathering in person and also over live stream. And I just invite you to stay in touch, stay in communication, stay with these questions. Eleanor and I will be putting together a broader schedule of events and activities for the next year. And I invite all of you, all of you who are concerned with the future of the new church, all of you who perhaps have a particular love for the Swedenborg Chapel in Cambridge and want to see it thrive into the future, I invite you to join us and to participate in what is unfolding. As a part of this next 6 months too, the congregation has graciously worked to offer me a sabbatical time so that I can really dive deep into these questions that are calling me. I feel a calling to writing and to articulating more about Swedenborg's vision and the way that vision really interacts with our lived experience. I have been feeling the activity of my spiritual life like never before. I wonder if others have as well. I can't help but believe that this pandemic has been an instigator of spiritual growth and change. And so I want to wrestle down those questions and hopefully come back with some insights into how to more boldly share this profound message in ways that resonate and that bring alive our community. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get back this fall. I'm excited to dig into these questions more deeply. I'm excited to welcome Eleanor into our fold and to learn from her and to help her on her journey towards ordination. I hope that all of you are excited too. I hope this confusion, as painful as it maybe has been at times, has also stirred insights in your own heart and mind about what church truly is, about what helps you to stay connected to the divine, and about what has helped you on your journey of spiritual regeneration, the purpose of our existence on this planet, to grow beyond our selfishness, to be reminded of our deep interconnection to everyone else and directly to God, the source of everything. All is well, friends. There's nothing wrong with the course of things or where we stand now. And with this sense of peace and trust in God, many, many things are possible. I hope to see you next Sunday. Many blessings.